Last time, we got deep into all 30 plus waifus in Genshin Impact and ranked them. Wait, that came out wrong. Last time, we covered all 30 plus waifus in Genshin Impact. Lord knows some of them need covering up. Hey there travelers, my name's Ness and welcome to the second part of a mini-series where I judge virtual characters in a gacha game and rank their attractiveness using superficial metrics. So buckle up and let's talk about all 16 husbandos that are currently available in Genshin Impact. Just a quick reminder, if you haven't watched the previous video, I'm judging these characters based on two simple criteria. Number one, all ranked characters have to be of legal age. Being underage makes any character an immediate F tier. I hope the reason why is obvious to you. Number two, this ranking is purely subjective. I'm ranking these characters how I damn please. If you don't like it, spam it in the comments because the YouTube algorithm loves that stuff. Then you can go make your own list. If you're enjoying my videos and want more content covering Genshin's lore, player tips, and discussions about the game and its story, hit that subscribe button to stay notified about my uploads. Also, smash that like button if you love these character breakdowns. And let's begin with number 1, Albedo. Albedo is easily the prettiest male character design in the entire game. He's calm, he's collected, he's intelligent, and honestly, him taking care of Klee like a mature older sibling is a huge plus. Also, I'm gonna be real with you, he does remind me a little of my boyfriend, so Husbando is all the way down in F rank though, but let's not get into that to avoid any spoilers. Number 2, Arataki Itto. Itto is in the C rank for a good reason. He's more like a drinking buddy than a husbando. He's fun to hang around because of his spontaneous attitude that sometimes teeters on recklessness, but this impulsive nature also makes him a potential headache in a relationship. Number 3, Bennett. Bennett, also known as Benny, is an easy F rank for various reasons. Firstly, although the characters in Genshin don't actually have a canon age, I would peg him close to Fischl's age, which probably means he's a teenager. By the way, if you want to know what I rated Fischl and the other ladies in the game, watch my waifu tier list. And back to Benny. The poor boy is so unlucky that he's always getting himself into so much trouble that you can't help but want to take care of him. And he somehow remains cheerful despite his circumstances, yet is constantly guilt-stricken for accidentally harming someone. He just brings out my motherly instincts and I want to take care of the poor boy. So yes, Benny is a good boy, but absolutely not husbando material. Number 4, Chongyun. Chongyun strikes me as the kid in the neighborhood that most of us probably grew up with, you know, gangly, awkward, not quite fitting in. But as you watch them grow up and slowly find their place in the world, you can't help but feel a bit proud of them. That's Chongyun for me. I'll smile if I meet him in an ice cream shop, but I wouldn't want to flirt with him or give him a show by suggestively licking my popsicle. Plus, I totally ship him with Xingqiu and I desperately need a yaoi manga showcasing their bromance on full bloom, if you know what I mean. Number 5, Diluc. To be very honest, Diluc used to be an S or A rank until I got called out by multiple people for my double standards on the waifu versus husbandos, so I had to be honest with myself and push him down to B rank. Because let's put it this way, if I'm looking for a hot sugar daddy in Mondstadt, Diluc would definitely be the first person I'll look for. It's no secret that Diluc is filthy rich, and that there's a decent portion of the fanbase who has a soft spot for his tragic background and would totally simp for him. And honestly, after learning about what he did in Shnasnaya and how badass that story is, quite frankly, I'm starting to simp for him too. But Diluc also comes with a ton of emotional baggage as a result of that previously mentioned tragic backstory. And this man needs therapy, but is 100% too proud to go for it. If Diluc is willing to go to couples therapy with me, he'll be an A tier, but as he is, he's a B tier pick for me. Number 6, Gorou. To be clear, I didn't put Gorou in D rank because I'm infantilizing him in any way. He is a great general, He's well liked and well respected among his troops. But at the same time, I just see him as a good dogo boy and not a husbando. There's nothing necessarily wrong with him, but I'm not moving on. I think a large part of it might be due to how his character design paints him as more of a young adult compared to a seasoned war veteran, but I really just want to pet him. Not in a suggestive way. Number 7, Kaedehara Kazuha. Kazuha will be in C rank instead of A or B rank, mainly because even though he'll be a great husbando, he's too much of a wanderer to be tied down with a relationship. He is definitely a great traveling companion, but he isn't exactly someone that you want to spend the rest of your life with. And honestly, you wouldn't even want to travel with him for that long. Think of it like Ash's female companions every season of the anime. Eventually, they lose their novelty and charm, and so the executive producers come in and replace them with someone new. Alright, in all seriousness, Kazuha is the kind of person I'd love to meet on the journey if I was traveling the world, but we'll eventually walk our separate ways, and honestly, I'm totally okay with that. Number 8, Kaeya. Kaeya, similar to Diluc, actually was an A rank husbando until I got called out again, and after some reflection, I dropped him down to C rank. But let me get this out of my system first. He is hot. Kaeya is very self-assured and flirty, and I really like them in a person I'm trying to get to know, both romantically and platonically. There's also a slightly cunning side to him that makes him even more exciting to get to know and fall in love with, but that also makes Kaeya a very dangerous partner to be. You're never quite sure about what he's thinking or what his exact intentions are. Also, like Diluc, Kaeya has way too much emotional damage and would be too proud to get help for it. If anything, he'll just find a way to weasel out of a proper conversation about any problem you're trying to talk to him about. So Kaeya, quite frankly, is a really hot bang, but I'll hesitate to commit to know someone like him. Would totally be down to spend a night with him though. Number 9, Razor. Razor has been raised in the wild and hasn't adapted enough to human civilization in order to fit in. Imagine going on a date to a fancy restaurant with Razor as your date. You'll get kicked out in no time. At the same time, he's a good Wolfy boy and I'd love to meet him to play fetch with him. But more than Gorou, being with Razor would feel way more than like the word starts with a B. Wolfy glick though? Number 10, Tartaglia. Although in C rank, he'll be demoted down to F tier if I have to call him by his nickname. In all seriousness, he has his plus points. The big one for me is that despite being a hardened warrior who's hooked on the thrill of a hardcore battle, he's a big softy family man and that's quite cute. On the other hand, his blatant addiction to fighting is what docks major points for our crime boss fan here. Also, thinking about just how many people he's killed in cold blood doesn't exactly sit well with me. So I'll say that Childe is a pretty problematic husbando. Number 11, Thoma. Thoma is an easy S tier. He is everything you could possibly want in a life partner. Talented, loyal beyond belief, honorable, and always wanting the best for you. I feel like he's unfairly categorized as a male housewife, and honestly, it feels like he's so much more than that. Let's get our gender stereotypes out of the way in our head and let's call him for what he is. S-tier husband material. Papa Thoma, please marry me. Thank you for coming to my TED Talk on harmful gender stereotypes. Number 12, the male traveler. I mentioned this in the waifu tier list, but in case you haven't watched that, what are you doing? Go watch that first. I've spent way more time with Aether compared to Lumine as my main characters, so a lot of my thoughts on the traveler center around Aether compared to Lumine. Aether is powerful and he's seen a lot of shit in his life as a cross-dimensional traveler. But it's obvious that he has a mega sister complex, and he'll always put his sister's needs over yours. The traveler isn't a husbando, he's a cisbando. But let's be real, The traveler is emotionally unavailable and is very likely to head back to his home dimension when he's found his sister. So even if he made an effort to be your husbando while he's in Hivat, well, I guess most marriages do eventually end in divorce. Number 13, Venti. I don't think anyone is surprised by this ranking. Let's be brutally honest with Venti. He's a perpetual drunk who is also dead as broke. He's the kind of drinking buddy who would be a total riot at a party. But he's also that kind of person who would order the best drinks at a restaurant only to dash off right before the end of the date, so you're the one stuck with the bill. The only thing Venti has got going for him is that he is legal, totally ignoring that he's technically a god. He'll make an alright friend, but he is terrible husbando material, unless you want to be a deadbeat like him. Number 14, Xiao. I just realized how many characters have been categorized into the C rank. Xiao is a sympathetic figure. He has a tragic past that makes you feel for him, but let's not kid ourselves. While we may be able to feel for him, he is so jaded and worn down, he'll find it very difficult to ever feel for you in return. It's not that he doesn't care. If anything, if you're someone he considers to be a friend, it's quite obvious that he cares. But he's been around the block so many times, his perspective on what matters to mere mortals is hard for him to empathize with. And that's okay. So while not the worst choice on this list due to his redeeming qualities, I feel like you have to be a very special kind of patient to consider Xiao a husbando. So unfortunately, it's a C for our dear Demon Slayer. Number 15, Xingqiu. Alright, first, let's get the superficial reason why I don't like Xingqiu out of the way. I don't like the way he dresses, looks, or acts. Yes, I said it. I admire the dude's conviction, and he has a sense of righteousness that teeters on the edge of being annoying and naive, but I can respect a man's morals too. On the other hand, he has a certain bull-headed quality to him that makes him extremely difficult to argue or even reason with sometimes, and whenever there's some kind of disagreement, I can easily find myself feeling thoroughly frustrated at him. To use an analogy, it's like playing chess against a pigeon. Even if you win, the pigeon will just knock over all the pieces and claim itself to be the grand master of the game. And finally, like I said, I totally ship him with Chongyun, so let's leave the hot and cold couple to their wonderful bromance. Number 16, Zhongli. Zhongli is an S rank for multiple reasons. Number 1, I am a Zhongli simp, so there's already that bias. Number 2, I think you might have noticed my tendency to go for the older male characters. I think it has something to do with the fact that my boyfriend acts like a total old man even though he's in his 20s. Hey, I love you too! Zhongli is very knowledgeable and passionate about his area of expertise, and if you can sit through his long-winded, introspective ramblings, you'll be able to learn quite a lot from him. Also like my boyfriend. Hey! Zhongli is also sometimes a bit of an unintentional klutz, which I can find quite endearing for a character who is supposed to be as intellectual as he is. Let's just say, there's a reason Zhongli has no money and has to work for someone like Hu Tao. And yes, before you shout to the high heavens in the comments about Zhongli's dark, bloody past, let's remember that the Zhongli of the past and the Zhongli of the present are two clearly different people. That's what I think anyways. So let's end this video on a great life lesson. Judge people for the person they are today, not the person they were yesterday. And love people not only for the person they are right now, but the person they aspire to become. Damn, I sound way smarter than I have any right to be. And that's the great thing about having a script. And well, that's it. This was much shorter than the waifu tier list. There's literally almost double the number of female playable characters in the game than there are male characters. Why? Because we all know that Mihoyo is overrun by the feminist agenda. Fight in the comments about gender suppression. Okay, seriously, please no fighting. Jokes aside, let me know. How much do you agree with my list? And who's your personal favorite husbando? Comment below and let's talk. I'm always down to chat and reply to every single comment I get. So with that, thanks for watching. Stay spicy and Godspeed, travelers.